Hi everyone, this is Jebro, and this is a Chronomancer build. The first build I'm going to do of Heart of Thorns. Feels like there's going to be, it's just kind of obvious choices that I've taken and played around with it in beta weekend as well. There's a couple of different options, but it feels pretty nice. I mean, it probably be changed, and you know there'll probably be something maybe which is better in the future. But for me at the moment, this is kind of working. I've gone with Chronomancer. I've gone with the shield as well, because you don't obviously have to go with the weapon that comes with the new elite specialization, but the shield feels very, very strong. Also, I've gone with 2 wells as well, and I'll describe the reasons why I've gone for those in a bit. But we have gone also for the great sword and the sword, of course. This is like a marauder power build kind of thing, and obviously going for the ring of the pack as well. Quickly want to explain what Alacrity is. Alacrity is something new to the game. It's something new to obviously it comes with Chronomancer, and it is the 66% skill recharge rate. So if you've got cooldowns, I can actually show you as an example. Just get into combat quickly. Okay, so let's just use that, and we'll use the first skill as well. So you can see, when the well ends, I'm going to get Alacrity. Now that means the cooldown number turns to green. You can see it going faster. That's the 66% recharge rate. When the Alacrity goes, it goes to white, and that is when it goes down normally. At the moment, I'm still getting Alacrity as well, because I do have something which is giving off Alacrity. That is the skill on the shield. So when it has channeled, for example, this one, then I get an illusion, I get a clone, which is going to give me, phantasm, which is going to give me AoE Alacrity as well. So that channel has to complete on the shield for that to work. At the moment I've got 2 up, so I'm actually getting I'm actually getting a lot of Alacrity. Obviously when there's damage coming out around you, then those phantasms are going to get destroyed anyways, but it does give you an extra phantasm to kind of bring out. So let's just do that again. Just make sure I didn't actually get into combat then, so that's my bad. But yeah, you saw what it did, and it's pretty good. This is a one-take wonder because I've got 0 time, and I'm just about to cast Go 4 cups from the last Go 4 cup for the ESL and EU. Exciting times. But anyway, let's go through this. So we've got 2 wells there. We've got Gravity Well now. If you're a Mesmer or you've been experiencing PvP recently, you know that Gravity Well is pretty powerful. So let's go for it. Create a powerful well, there you go, that wraps space in an area, knocking down, floating and pulling foes caught in its event horizon. When it expires, foes still inside the well take heavy damage. It's a lot of damage as well. Final damage almost 2k, and you can CC them and you can still damage them, of course, while they're in it. It's very, very strong. You can see the 3 pulses as well is great with the 3 seconds. It's also a dark combo field, and yeah, it's just a great AoE CC and really, really strong in teamfights. If you've been caught in it as well, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, that's kind of a given while I've got and also it works in synergy with the Alacrity that I get from my traits. So that's, you know, empowering you even more. So when it's finished, you're still going to get cool recharge rate as well. Well of Precognition. So creates a well that gives allies the ability to see the future and allows them to evade all incoming attacks. When the well ends, allies within the well regain endurance. So not only are you going to evade attacks, but you're going to get back your endurance so you can dodge as well later on. Also, you know, the stability is pretty nice. So it's like an AoE blur that you kind of get, which is really, really good, similar to the Blurred Frenzy, of course. And with the traits we've got, and it also breaks stun, so that's also good. You know, ethereal field, number of targets is 5, so it covers your whole team. It's just really good. It's really good defensive, especially for yourself, and replaces in the meta in the EU, it replaces decoy. So, you know, that's replacing some stealth. So what can we think about that? Why that's going to replace the stealth, so where are we going to go with the traits? Okay, we had PU before for Mesmers. Going through with the stealth, of course. So I've got rid of PU now and gone with the other lines. I've gone with Domination and Dueling because it just felt obvious, you know, getting rid of the stealth from Torch, getting rid of Decoy, and I'm not going to have that stealth. So, you know, it makes sense. Just get rid of PU. The other one's Portal is too strong to get rid of, and Blink again is one of those strong abilities, which really helps you, gets you out of grab. His break's done, and he teleports you far away, so you can begin to kite with your greatsword. So different reasons for different things. Let's go through the shield very quickly as well. Tides of Time, so launch a wave of temporal energy that damages and stops enemies it passes through and buffs allies. The wave then returns to you, touching the returned wave, reduces the recharge of this skill. So the damage, it's not really for the damage, but you can see you get the quickness and you get stun as well. So let's have a look. The block missiles is really nice as well. So the shield is really good. Even if you get 2 abilities, and people might have been like, oh, Mesmer gets like 2 new abilities with their new weapon. It's really good. It's a really good offhand. So let's just strike it, and you can see the effects that come onto. Stun comes on there as well. Unfortunately, it didn't return to me because it's just gone into the wall, but we'll be able to show you again this in a moment. And this guy is just coming over to obviously tell me that he wants to hit that, so fine. But we'll just stand out here for a moment so the noise isn't going to be so intense. But you do get quickness on the return of that as well, and the faster recharge, which is what I mentioned before. So he's gone away. Then we can go back now. Okay, so looking pretty good so far. And I went through the 4th skill, which obviously, was... Let's read through it as well, as soon as we have the others. Echo of Memory, so Phantasm block incoming attacks for a short duration. If this skill fully channels, you summon a Phantasm that slows enemies and grants Alacrity to allies. If an attack is blocked, Deja Vu is usable for a short time. So, I can't really show you this on this mod, but I'm going to do some gameplay, and I'll be able to show you the full effects of that as well. It is going to come back there. You saw the Alacrity come out. Sorry, not the Alacrity, the quickness come out, which is very good as well. Ah, greatsword. Still got the good old greatsword. There we go. Okay, so I'll fully explain that. I'll try to explain it in a more detailed video, like when I do gameplay, and hopefully I'll commentate over it as well. I'm not saying again that I'm the best player, but theoretically, I feel like this build is quite good, just for myself, maybe my own gameplay, but it feels like something which might be used. I'm not too sure. But it makes a lot of sense, Okay, let's go through this. So we're going to go through, first of all, we've got a Sigil of Fire, Sigil of Aeon Greatsword, fairly standard. Then we've got Sword and Shield, and I've got Sigil of Generosity with Energy. Maybe you could put Generosity on the Shield, because you might hit more with the Shield, actually, with that 5th skill. But really, that's up to you. Rune of the Pack, of course, with Marauder at the moment. You could go with Traveller, you could go with... I don't know. Still not sure about this and whether or not Marauder's going to be the best one, but generally where the traits are, I feel like they're quite strong. So let's go through Domination first. We've got Confounding Suggestions, so chance to inflict stun whenever you daze a target. Stun is 1/4 seconds now. Illusions deal more damage, no. Shatter skills, inflict vulnerability, that could be something you go for, but I feel like Confounding Suggestions is going to be better. Dazzling, so extra vulnerability, of course, with the daze, so you want to set up your vulnerability stacks maybe before you do your burst. And we've got the vulnerability as well when it interrupts there, so that's coming out with the stun and the knockback from the Greatsword 5. This is fairly standard, shattered concentration, as well as, fragility, so more damage for each stack of vulnerability, so that's even more important. And then we've got power blocks, so interrupts deal damage and inflict weakness. Enemy skills that you interrupt have an increased cooldown. So that's going to be good with things like Gravity Well for the interrupts. It's going to be good for things like your Greatsword, Tides of Time as well when you get the stun off. So you've still got some nice stuns. So this is working with the Confounding Suggestions, the Power Block, and the Gravity Well and CC you have. Makes sense, right? There's some synergy there. Okay, let's go into Dueling, where we go for obviously critical infusion. So you gain vigor when delivering critical hit. That's going to happen. Then I've gone for Decoy here, so that's my defensive skill there as well, and that's when I get below a certain amount of health, which is very useful. Still think this is useful. Let's have a look at, obviously not going for that one. I mean, we could go for Phantasms Have Fury, but still I like this as a defensive option. Sharper Images, inflict bleeding, critical hits. Blinding Dissipation, I don't think that's going to be given up for anything here as either. I mean, maybe you could go for Evasive Mirror. I don't know. It was really up to you, but I feel like Blinding Dissipation is still the thing because it's been for so long as well. Gain Fury as well when you strike an enemy whose health is below the threshold. That's also very good for continuing your burst damage. And then Deceptive Evasion, which if you're using Shatter as a tool, then it's really the go-to thing, and this is pretty much why you're running the Dueling line. Deceptive Evasion is very good to get extra clones up so you can get your extra shatters off, which is very, very important. So let's go over the Chronomancer, which is a really, really important one here. So obviously you got the shield, so that's what we want to go for as well. So Time Splitter, gain access to Continuing Split Shift, which allows you to revert to an earlier spot in time. And this is what this is. So you destroy all your illusions and create rift in the space-time continuum. When it expires, you will revert back to this point with your previous health, endurance, and skill recharges. Duration increases per illusion shattered. So you want to have the maximum amount when you use this. You could use it in a short time to make to change your position. It's like a mini portal, but with a time limit on it, and you have no choice but to actually use it. So let's just use some abilities here. Let's get some actual clones up as well. Okay, so 4 seconds there. You can see some cooldowns coming back there as well, as also the short port that comes out. Now, I haven't had much play with this yet. I've been playing Engineer quite a lot, and I really need to get used to it a bit more to actually let you know a bit more informed of how that skill really helps you and benefits you, because I've not been able to play so many games on it, and I don't feel like I'm actually very good using this skill in the best situations at present. But you know what it does, and I feel like it's very strong as well to get your recharges back with the combination of Alacrity as well that comes out. I feel like this is really good to get your recharges back up straight away, to get more clones up, to get more illusions up, so you can do more shatter damage as well. So this skill I really need more play with, but you get it through Chronomancer line and just play with it yourself. Tell me how you've been using it, because that would be very useful for me as well. But yeah, it makes sense. It's not going to be for all your major abilities, but for your this is where I need to really test it out and give you some more information. I wanted to put this build to you now, but still pretty nice. An extra shatter there as well in the Chronomancer, of course. So the first one we're going to go for is All Wells That... I like this trait name. All's Well That Ends Well. Wells grant Alacrity to allies when they end. So we've got the 2 wells here. Just show you what you get here as well. There you go, get the Alacrity. Pretty nice. And then Gravity Well. You can see what happens there. Get CC'd, floats. And we get the Alacrity if we're standing in it. So unfortunately I didn't get it then, but you do get it. Then we're going to go to the next ability. Gain Alacrity for each illusion you shatter. Oh my god, lord. There you go. Alacrity. And we get quickness as well, which is very nice. So we'll have a look, keep going as well. I feel like this is all about Alacrity, this line, and quickness. So let's go to the next one. Alacrity applies to you, lasts longer. I'm going for Alacrity here, which feels like, this synergizes quite well. I mean, you could go get an additional crit chance against slowed enemies. I mean, you can interrupt and get a slow, which might synergize quite well with confounding suggestions and slow them down rather than going for Alacrity. So, on this side of the line, you've got the slow. So you slow your opponents, which means you can get some more attacks off yourself. But the skills and actions are slower for them, and feels like you're kind of faster in, I guess, going faster in time than they are. Or you can go for Alacrity, where your skill recharge is quicker and you're ahead of time of them. So that makes sense the way I'm trying to explain that. I got a bit tongue twisted again when I'm explaining that, but I think you know what I mean. But anyway, this is why I'm going for these 2. If you go for the slow, I feel like you should go for those 2. But the Alacrity there applied to you last longer. So time marches on, you move 25% faster. The duration of incoming movement in pairing conditions is reduced by 25%. So I don't need to really go for Traveller there, because I don't need to go for the extra speed, because you're getting extra speed through this line. So that's another thing. And also the incoming movement in pairing conditions reduced by 25% is brilliant for an Adept. So this is really, really good. So I'm not going to be probably taking Traveller too much anymore, obviously. And then Seize the Moment. So you gain quickness for each illusion you shatter, which is absolutely brilliant as well. I'll just show you that. Although, to be honest, the golem is almost dead. Let's just kill him here. Okay. All in all, you've got some great CC with this build. It makes sense to go with Confounding Suggestions and Power Block there, along with the Gravity Well and all the interrupts you have. So I'll just show you do get Alacrity from this well, because I failed before. There you go. That was a lot of damage there. Quickness, Alacrity. Bam. Your burst is great. The cooldowns you get back are amazing as well. Let's see if this returns. There we go. Get the quickness. So, all in all, it's pretty damn good. Pretty happy with Chronomancer as it is. I need more play with Continuing Split. I really need to test that out a lot more. I feel like I could be using it a lot better, especially just remembering my cooldowns, things like that, and just, right, I've used this, I can shatter this and get my cooldowns quicker rather than just using it for specific repositioning, or am I going to use it for repositioning and such as well. So really, I need to have a little bit more play with that. There's probably a lot better explanation behind Chronomancer than what I'm currently giving you. This is very, very basic. If you want more explanation, I suggest probably going to like a full-on Mesmer channel, but if you come to mine then, you know, I hope I've done that justice for you guys. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you very soon. Look at my shield, it's pimp. See you later.